Of course, Calibishie Chronicle actually focuses on people from Calibishie because the story is told to us. I'm telling the stories, but as I'm telling the stories, I'm rethinking and re-understanding and falling in love with my community again. Because storytellers have to have some sort of connection and reminisce with the story when the stories are being told. It is not just you enjoying the story, I am enjoying it too. Because the older folks that I was very much part of in terms of the Pampu Centenarian Foundation always tell me, c'est un bon bitin pour parler, ou ça, mani moun pour parler avec, c'est bitin à connaître, à oublier. C'est le mot parler contre moi, ça dit bon. So that is like me. A storyteller feels good to tell a story because you are connected, you are invested in the story. So the experience goes both ways. And we're dealing with Jagai right now. And Jagai deserves to have another episode about him or on him. Because we do not understand the worth and the impact that people have on our life until we understand it. And Jagai had a major impact on life in Calibishie. Jagai kept a lot of the fellas away from trouble because we want to go to movie and watch a Kung Fu by Jagai. Kung Fu is free. There used to be matinee on a weekend at the school in Calibishie. But there's people who had money who would go to matinee. People like me, I didn't have money. So if Jagai playing free Kung Fu, I will find myself there. But before I go there, I have to do my work. And then I still want to leave Jagai to run down by the schoolyard to play my cricket or football or volleyball before sunset at 6 o'clock, 6:30, because I have to come back home, wash my foot, take my breakfast, do my stuff at home, and go and sleep at a certain time. So we have to time this very well. Jagai kept a lot of people away from wandering. Again, we can say we're not in the 80s anymore because life's changed and more activities are involved, and we have internet now and we have satellite and all kind of thing now. So we can say that too. And I'm not saying that we must go back to the 80s. No, not at all. I'm just sharing the experiences. And even right now, we're living in an advanced world. I'm using the technology to share the story of the world that helped to form me. You cannot forget who you are when you become what you become. Because you are nothing different from what you were before. You are just an extension to that. And some people are not true to the past, to the values that we learned in the past. We just drop these values today because, oh, we want to make a living, we want to survive, and boy, tap with them fellas, then boy, I good with that. No. Maintain who you are. And that's who I am. I'm sharing with you who I am. And Jagai was one of those who helped. Because Jagai created an opportunity for us to assemble, for us to be entertained, and for us to be part of community life. Again, as I said, no, we can't go back to that, but we cannot forget that. Because if we're going to have to reconstruct our ways, that is where it starts from. If we're going to have to progress to the future, you need a foundation, Because the higher you climb is the deeper your foundation should go. So what are we building our future on in Calibishie? On what? On the past 10 years, 15 years of life? No! Let's go back 100 years, 50 years, 60 years to the time when probably our foundations were created. So Jagai was one of these individuals. And if you wanted to have any gathering or camaraderie, go to Jagai. Jagai made a lot of money, but Jagai gave a lot of money away. Jagai did not just hug money and say, all is mine. No. If you did not have enough money, as I said, Jagai would give you this stuff and give you an extra bake on it. And because of that, Jagai was a successful business person. One of the biggest success stories coming from Calibishie. And we should know that. We should remember that. And whenever the village council is doing something to honor people, it would be nice to remember my brother Jagai for what he had done in the community. Not just in the 80s, because Jagai might have started doing his bakes before, But I only recall that period because, hélas, I was not born a long time ago, although people might say that Alex Vie. But age, it is just a factor of life. So do not look at somebody who's 50 and say, oh, that person, oh, was you old boy, the man, the old boy. No, I used to say that before when I was 2018, I met a fella, John Sewer, in St. Croix. He was 31, and I call him man old. Oh, how much I regret that. Because that's not old. Somebody's 70. My mother is beautiful. She's young. 18, 90. We have to cherish people the more they live. So those of us who think we're younger, when you live and you understand life, you appreciate aging and the beauty of experience. And that's how I like to end my discussion about Jagai. We'll continue speaking here on Calibishie Chronicle. Maybe on another topic coming up very soon.